One of them, I mean, they were in pieces.
For $21,000.
Yes.
Moses wanted to add, and Kenny and I kind of forgot. Are you filming this, Kenny?
Yeah.
Moses had bought up, the last time we sold the Chief, a couple years back, it was in pieces on the floor. And Kenny, you can put the link to the video in if you like, but we sold that bike for $21,000.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? I present to you an absolutely stunning barn find that we just picked up. Actually, it wasn't really a barn find, it was just in the garage since a gentleman who had this bike since the 60s. He's had it for over 50 years. He had two of them. He had a 48 Chief and a 50 Chief. This was his favorite of the two for a lot of obvious reasons, most namely the telescopic front forks. His son told me that his dad said this gave him a much better ride. And this is the 80 cubic inch, which I believe is 1,340 cc's. It's pretty big V-twin. This was the epitome, the pinnacle of Indian development. And this was his pride and joy. The guy who owned it didn't smoke, didn't drink. He has a Easy Does It sticker on the top here. And his pride and joy was his two Indians and his 40 sedan coupe that he had that was still in the garage. Look back to one of the earlier videos. Both the bikes are on there. We're an AMCA ambassador site for the Antique Motorcycle Club of America. I'm an AMCA judge and also the Eastern Connecticut ambassador. And another club member wanted to buy the 48 Chief, so we gave him a super deal on that one. You'll see in the videos it was in the same shape as this one. Hadn't been started in about 5-6 years, so we sold him that one at a reduced price. This one's going to be sold as is in the same exact shape as you see it right here, complete with the dust as we found it on the tank here. I did clean off a little bit of the tank and a little bit of the chrome there, just in one little small spot, so you can see how easily this chrome's going to come back on this thing. If you do a zoom up on the forks, you'll see the fork chrome and all the chrome on the bike's in beautiful condition. This is the a matching numbers bike. It appears to be all original to me and is in excellent condition and ran like a top when it was parked. It should just need a carb clean and a tune-up and it'll be back on the open road. I did not want to disturb the patina on this bike. I know a lot of people with bikes of this age and character want to see exactly the way it came out of the barn, and this is the way we found it. As a comparison value, I had the 2018 Blue Book here, and it shows the Chief 80 cubic inch with a number one value of $43,300 and a number two of $29,745 and a number three of $18,700. This bike is definitely in between a 2 and a 3, and that's a 2-year-old book. I have the latest edition of the Comprehensive Vintage Motorcycle Guide right here, and it shows the Chief at $44,000 in a number 1, $35,000 in a number 2, and $26,000 in a number 3. This is definitely somewhere between a number 3 and a number 2, so I'm going to estimate the appraisal value of somewhere between $26,000, exactly how you see it, up to $35,000 once it's cleaned up a little bit. So we'll let the market determine the actual value. The engine kicks over, has good compression. The bike rolls beautifully. The suspension works great.
Front brakes work.
Yeah, the brakes work beautifully. I mean, this is a bike that was well cared for its entire life, stored indoors, and was owned by a guy who really took care of his stuff. So unfortunately he passed away, and about a year ago his son contacted me, and we finally obtained title to both the bikes, and we're going to resell them to raise funds for the museum. This is a 1940 upgrade, the suspension on the rear. They came out with this in 1940, so it has a rear suspension, quite a bit of spring to the seats, and the telescopic front forks. The gentleman who bought the 1948 that came with this, his dad was 65 years old, and we were talking a couple days ago at the Rice-A-Rama event, the Japanese motorcycle event. He said he had ridden 200 miles on his Chief last weekend. These are bikes that are really built for the open road, and they arguably were the best bike of their era. As a comparison, I'm going to show you a couple other Chiefs that we have. Take a walk with me, Kenny. We have this sidecar rig right here. This is a 1942 Chief with a sidecar. This was purchased for $35,000. This is a 57 Indian Tomahawk that was purchased for $10,500. This is a after Indian went out of business.
Royal Enfield.
Royal Enfield Indian. So here's a 47 Chief that my good friend Dave purchased. This one was $32,000, and this 46 Roadmaster was $35,000. So
Now, keep in mind, these were purchased almost 7 years ago. Ken? Is that right?
yeah,
And
they've been. He bought them a long time ago. The value's gone up. I'm not sure what this would bring at market right now.
earlier this year, we were watching the Mecum auction live. A 1947 Indian Chief brought $47,000 before the buyer's premium.
Yeah, well,
at auction.
7 years ago, the price of money goes up quite a bit in 7 years, even at like a 7%, it almost doubles. We have another really interesting bike over here. Also, if you're an Indian aficionado, I've got two of these Indian snap-on lifts. It's a snap-on, top-of-the-line lift with the Indian Motorcyclist Springfield logos and decals on here. These are available for sale separately also. But this bike on this lift right here, this is a 37 Chief, 74 cubic inch, 1210 cc's. This one's for sale for $39,500. This one's for sale, and that one's for sale. That's the one we're focusing on today. The ones on the other side there are not for sale. Those are owned by a benefactor of the museum and on display here. So it's very rare to have one come up like this that's going to be sold as is, fresh from the storage from the previous owner. So if you have any questions about it, if you want to come take a look at it or have a mechanic look at it, feel free. We've checked it out. The engine is in excellent condition, as is the running gear and suspension and everything else.
We have transport contacts, international or domestic transports, licensed, insured, enclosed transport, fully insured with no deductible. We have contacts who are more than competent with shipping this kind of thing.
The proceeds from the sale of the bike are going to fund the museum here. We've got a massive facility and a staff of 13, so both floors of the museum are full of motorcycles now. As much as I'd like to keep this, we can't afford to keep it. So if you want to buy it and have us do some work on it, possibly do some cosmetic restoration work, get it fired up for you, we'd be happy to do that in our restoration shop. But for now, it's being offered as is, and that'll give you a little bit less expensive buy-in and the ability to invest in it as you wish and or do the work yourself. So if you have any questions, give me a call, 860-454-7024. Good luck bidding on this beauty, and God bless America. God bless Indian handy manufacturing out of Springfield for producing what are considered to be the finest vintage motorcycles ever made. This has the foot clutch and the side hand shift. Just a beautiful piece, so good luck bidding on it.